Mike Heck here in downtown Savannah, Georgia right now with the man, Jorge Masvidal, who's wearing lots of hats. This weekend he'll be wearing the promoter hat, iKON FC4, going down in Savannah on Friday on UFC Fight Pass. Very exciting stuff. Are you enjoying Savannah? It's a pretty cool town, is it not?
Loving it. I don't know how much of the background you can capture, but it feels like we went in that time machine. We're like in the 1950s, 60s, because the architecture here is very different. Very southern hospitality. Everybody's over the top nice and like genuine. It's a cool place to be at.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you doing this right now because we did an interview, unbelievable interview you'll never be able to see because my XLR was fried. He was kind enough to give me some time a few hours later. I appreciate that very much.
The 2.0.
Yeah, this might be the better one right now, for being honest. So talk about this card. You're in Savannah. You're wearing the promoter hat. This is event number 4. It's a Young Guns kind of a card. Yeah. Give us your thoughts on
Young Guns is the theme.
Talk about some of the fights. Like, I know the main event, you got a couple of undefeated prospects, you got some amateurs kicking off things, and you got some really exciting fights going on in this card. Talk about how excited you are for Friday night.
For starters, these guys come to late on the line. We've already sent 4 guys to the big leagues, so it's like a proven record. You come here, you show your worth, you fight the toughest guy out that's challenging for the spot. One of you is going to get sent to the bigger leagues, In the co-main event, we have another guy that's 4-0 versus another guy that's finished all his fights. It's going to be a great fight. The 155ers, I can't remember the taller guy. It just slipped my mind. We
got the guy from Savannah, right?
The guy from Savannah, the 155 versus the one from Israel. 2 guys making their debut. 2 guys that are both had a great amateur record. And 2 guys that if I was managing them, I would advise don't fight that guy, to vice versa to both of them, just because it's not like safe fights, and there's not a lot of risk to reward. But these guys are so hungry to get to the next level, to fight the best of the best since the start of their career. It's just different, Back then, to get into the UFC, you had to have 15, 20 fights. Now, 4-0, 5-0, guys are getting signed, With that also comes that your lifeline is a little shorter in the UFC if you're not keeping up to date. But these guys are just getting after it, man. It's crazy. These guys just want to compete. So I got a lot of undefeated guys versus a lot of undefeated guys, or maybe one blemish on their record. And it's crazy how the sport's changed, And on top of it, that's something that we have a lot of pride in the promotion, making the cards as evenly possible as we can from beginning to the end, so everybody gets their money's worth. Everybody wants to see violence, and we want to see that unfiltered violence.
Who's going to be the next Bo Nickel? Who's going to be the next Hamdi Abdulwahab? I mean, they're all coming out of your promotion.
I think the winner of the main event probably gets a contract, Or worst case scenario, Dana White's contendership, or a straight contract. I wouldn't be surprised, Lindsey Jones is 4-0. He's been with American Top Team for a while, but he had some injuries that sidelined him. A couple things happened, so now he's getting back in the groove of it. That's another guy. 5-0, they might just sign him. 6-0, they might just sign him. And the guy he's fighting is no joke. Very dangerous guy. Not as much pedigree as Lindsey, but it's still going to be a great, great fight, So we're excited, man.
Definitely excited for the card. Couple last things. I know you're very busy right now, but a lot of people are asking what's next for you because everybody's calling you out. Gilbert Burns is all over Twitter every single day calling you out, and you got a lot going on right now. So what are you thinking about in terms of coming back? Who sticks out to you? Does Gilbert make sense? What do you think?
The one that makes the most sense is a little bitch Conor, right? I wouldn't mind getting a fat paycheck for beating that fucking midget's ass up. I don't know if it's going to happen. Gilbert makes sense, but also Leon's been calling me out left and right, saying he wants to defend the title against me. Let's go. I'll go to England, beat your ass again, So that one's probably the one that's in the front of the pack right now, if I'm being honest with you. I want to fight Gilbert, but is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year? I don't know. I got to heal myself up. And also, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I do got some legal issues, as we all know, that I got to take care of and address, and then I'll get right back in the murder scene, But right now, they're trying to hit me with all types of charges. I'm facing 3 felonies, man. I got all types of crazy shit I got to deal with. So I got to handle this shit and then get back to breaking faces.
How much of a chance you giving Leon against Kamaru?
I think Kamaru wins. I don't think he stops him or nothing. I just think he wins. He finds a way to get him, take him down, control him, throw a couple strikes, take him down, I could see Leon winning, because it's a fight anybody could win. I could see him catch him with a head kick or like a knee or something, and stopping him, because it's not like Usman's perfect. Nobody's perfect in the sport. He could easily get caught and get put away. But I'm leaning towards Usman.
And then last thing, Nathan Diaz is about to have his last fight in the UFC. You've shared the octagon with him. You had one of your best performances of your career against Nate at MSG, stopped him, became the BMF champion. One more fight on his deal, and he's going to fight Khamzat Chimaev in the main event on September 10th. I was curious your reaction to that fight and just your thoughts on the matchmaking in general.
They probably wanted to pair Diaz with somebody that stylistically is not the best. When I think of what's his face, fucking Khamzat. So they gave him like a boring ass wrestler who's probably just gonna try to hug his legs and sniff his crotch, you know. I think Khamzat probably wins, but I could see Nate putting him away in round 4 or 5, you know, because Khamzat doesn't have that gas tank, doesn't have that experience, and I think he gets like too in the moment to where he's like wasting energy doing stupid shit. You know, Nate's gonna conserve all that energy and get in his face when it counts, you know. So I think probably Khamzat should win, but I won't be surprised if Nate stops his ass, you know.
Have you been impressed with Khamzat at all? Like, the Gilbert Burns fight was a big step up for him.
I think that was supposed to be his coming out party, and it didn't go according to plan, you know, because a lot of people felt Gilbert won that fight, you know. A lot of people still think Gilbert won that fight. I don't really think that that Khamzat's as good as they say, you know. I'm more of like a seer to become a believer, and I haven't seen anything that makes me become a believer in this guy yet, you know. I personally would love to break his face once he gets up there. Once he's selling pay-per-views and shit like that, I wouldn't mind breaking his fucking face.
So if he beats Nate Diaz, does that kind of put him sort of in that level, or does he still need another win or two?
Right now, I'm not worried about him. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, because he's not going to necessarily put money in my pocket right now. But the guys that are, the ones that are calling me out, like fucking, what's his face, Leon, Conor, those are the guys that'll make me some fucking coin, you know? So I would like to smash them up first. Keep working on my wrestling, and then come after them 2 fucking wrestlers, dog. I've been fighting them, but wrestlers right now, so I wouldn't mind fighting like a Leon that's not a wrestler, or Gilbert that's a jiu-jitsu guy. I want to work on my wrestling while I'm not fighting wrestlers, and then get right back to it, you know? Fight these same wrestlers again and fucking end them.
One last quick thing. You were at the weigh-ins were at the Army Airfield today, and that was really cool because you were on the base. They all came out, and then at the end, before the interview that's not released, that's the greatest interview of all time. Trust me on this. There's a line of soldiers that were just lining up to meet you. So what did that mean to you? That must have meant a lot.
That was the most humbling thing. I'm a fighter, and I got like that BMF title and shit, but I'm not the BMF, you know. And those are the real warriors. Those are the real fighters. That term gets thrown out too loosely nowadays. Those are the guys that do it for, hey, ladies, if you want to be on America's Next Top Model, America's Next Top Model. You see it?
You never know what's going to happen when we interview this man. We're getting more on the ghost tour, apparently.
Those guys are the real warriors, man. They laid down their freedom for us, so me and you could do whatever the hell we want to do with our freedoms, with our choices. They laid down their livelihood, and I got nothing but respect and honor for them, man. And anytime that we could throw on events and just entertain them for that time that they're here, let their mind escape all the craziness that they have to deal with, we take full advantage of that. You know, and this is one of many going forward. We've established a good amount of connections with a lot of the bases, and we're going to just start hitting them all up, throwing free shows. We're not charging a single service member to come watch these fights. Just come in, indulge in the violence.
Well said, my man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the ghost tour. We'll see you tomorrow. iKON FC4, UFC Fight Pass. I'll be in the building. If you're in the area, you should be as well. Thank you very much, Jorge. All the best to you on the fight card on Friday.